Hey everybody on YouTube, it's your boy the Memphis XL, right back at you with the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where every day for 100 days we're dueling with a different deck every single day. Today, everybody, is a special day on the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because we're playing UAs and FAs. That's right, it's a double feature, and the reason it's a double feature is because I'm an idiot. So basically, a while back, I got a request for UAs and FAs for Mr. Demetrio Gutierrez Espinoza. I misread that as being both as one deck, so I was dumb. I went back to look at the request to figure out what I was doing today. Saw what it said, and I think, okay, how are we gonna do this? We're gonna do both at the same time. We're gonna do 2 duels with UAs and 2 duels with FAs. I will leave timestamps in the comments, of course, if you're just here for FAs. But for now, we're gonna start with UAs, the ultimate athletes. And we're just going to go into it. So, main deck today. We are playing 3 copies of UA Player Manager, 1 Hankratops, 1 UA Dreadnought Dunker, 1 UA Blockbacker, 1 UA Rival Rebounder, 1 copy of Mighty Slugger, 2 copies of UA Perfect Ace, 3 each of UA Libero Spiker and UA Midfielder. We have Reinforcement of Army, 2 Foolish Barrel Goods, 3 UA Signing Deals, 3 Pot of Extravagant, 1 Reasoning, 1 Terraforming, 1 UA Power Jersey, 3 each of UA's Hyper Stadium and Regular Stadium, 3 Impermanence, 2 Dogmatika Punishment, and 1 UA Penalty Box. For extra deck, we have Masquerena, Isolde, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, Borosword Dragon, Avramax, 1 Baguska, 1 Utopia, 1 Pleiades, 1 Utopia Lightning, 1 Vespinato, 1 Dingirzu, 2 Elder Entity Natis, and a Chimeratech Fortress Dragon, and the off chance we go up against Cyberdarks. As for the side deck, that's irrelevant. That's from a former build from like forever ago. But you don't have to worry about the side deck today. So let's go ahead to EDO Pro today. Let's go ahead and show off the UAs first, and then later the FAs, and we'll have ourselves a good time with it. Alright, yeah, our first opponent. Another day, a slightly different card game, because since we are playing 2 decks today, something I normally don't do, but I wanted to make sure I, did my request due diligence and all that good stuff. So, that's why it's different today. I'm immediately imperming this. We play imperm in case we go second. We try to go first with this deck, but we can go second, of course. And so we're up against Aromages. Normally, Jasmine would be getting him stuff. That would be giving him an extra summon and all that good stuff. But the imperm puts that in. That just puts a boot in his mouth, basically. That'll put a good old-fashioned boot up his mouth. Alrighty. So, what do we have here? Not bad. Let's start with the pot. You don't really need the extra deck in this deck all that much. The Natis for the Dogmatika, obviously, but the rest of it really isn't that important. Interesting. Alrighty. Let's go for Foolish Burial Goods. We are going to specifically send our penalty box to the grave. Penalty box can be, it's got a nice battle effect, but more importantly for penalty box, you can banish it to add one of your spells. We're going to get UA Stadium. Very important field spell for the things we like to do. We're going to start, though, with Hyper Stadium. When this is activated, you get a UA or an FA. That being the only real connection between UAs and FAs is that you can, add one or the other with this field spell. We're going to go ahead and get Player Manager. We're going to get to that boy. Yeah. So what we're going to do is use Hyper Stadium's effect. I'm going to reveal this UA Stadium in my hand, pay 1,000 life points, and I get double summons this turn. So now that we've done this, we're going to go ahead and normal summon after I've played, let's see. Yeah. So we're going to activate our UA Stadium. If I normal summon a UA, like so, I will get to get another UA monster. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to get some monsters in our hand. The idea of UAs, pretty simple. You summon out the lower level ones, or just any of them by whatever means necessary. And then what you can do here, as soon as I pay, I'm going to get Dreadnought Dunker. He's got piercing damage. He's pretty cool. So, basically what we're doing is, we're trying to get the normal summons going. And then, during my opponent's turn, I can use the effects of these midfielders as well as other UAs in order to bounce our UAs, and then we get ourselves, monsters from our hand. basically. It's very much just trying to get little dudes on the field and then get the big dudes. In this case, let's go ahead and let's get another manager. Manager's really good. You summon a UA monster, you can summon him out, you can either blanket negate everything or pop a card. It's pretty nice. And let's go for the battle phase now. I've done enough talking. It's time for action. It's time for Libero Spiker. And midfielder can use this effect now, but I'm not going to use it just yet. I'm going to save it for when I need it. So, he gains 1,000 and Marjoram. Marjoram. I see. So he'll gain life points, and then I believe this can banish my stuff in my graveyard, but I don't really care if he banishes my graveyard. It really doesn't matter that much. My graveyard is not that important to what we're trying to do. Okay. This is fine. This is a-okay. I still have midfielder. I can bounce back Libero Spiker, and then summon a UA from my hand, so I can summon out Dreadnought Dunker, summon out my manager. Manager will pop his Marjoram, and then I can lay into him, like, for a lot of damage. So we're going to go ahead and do exactly that. We're bouncing Libero Spiker. These two have to target other monsters, so that's what we're doing that for. So we're going to go for Dunker. Hello. And then our stadium goes off. Everyone gets a 500 boost. Manager comes out to the board. Like so. Everyone gets bigger, and I can go ahead and pop his Marjoram. Because this may not take damage. He might keep gaining life points, but you know what? I'm going to do more damage than he can gain life points. And that's ultimately where Aromage just, they falter right there. And, yeah, Dunker pops when he does damage, so I'll go ahead and get rid of that field spell. I don't want any of them to get any more life points. Not if I can help it. So that's the idea with UAs. You start with the little dudes, go for the big dudes, and Manager, I don't know why you'd play less than 3 Manager. He's just so good for this deck. Just being able to summon a dude, like even on especially on your opponent's turn, and then blanket negate all their monsters. It's like skill drains at 3 already. Maybe that's why they did it. Konami, they were like, oh, well, Manager's already a thing. Might as well. And let me think. I could bounce, let's see. I could bounce my Dunker to keep him safe. Does it really matter? You know what? No, I'm going to keep this in the off chance I need a normal summon, because that's the ultimate weakness of UAs, is that most of them are high-level monsters. You only have 2 level 4s in your deck, and you kind of need to have one on the board. Signing Deal gets around this, because you can just summon one from the deck, but you take a lot of damage doing so. So keeping a level 4 in the hand is a good idea, and he's got very little life points now. UAs don't care about the life points. Aromages do, however. And if you don't have life points, my opponent's in a bit of trouble. Alright, so he's got Rosemary. Interesting enough. Alrighty, let's go ahead and again for the Clot of Extravagant. Again, I don't care about my extra deck all that much. I'm just going to banish some more cards. Alright, what do we get this time? Ooh, okay. Another Libero Spiker. Not necessarily perfection. Okay. Normal summon, Libero Spiker. Get the volleyball man going. That'll activate Stadium. I'm going to go ahead and get my perfect ace in this case. Ace is the place, they say. Because this is my Omni negation. So I can go like bounce the Spiker, summon out the baseball man. And we'll go ahead. Do I even need to summon Manager? I really don't. I could. But I don't think I need to. So I'm not going to. I don't want to risk this being something crazy. So we'll attack with the Dreadnought Dunker. Dunk on this dude. Aromages are pretty nice, but if they can't get established, like early on, if they can't just get lots of life points, there's really not much they can do. They do not have any sort of, like, comeback strategy. Okay. Oh yeah, it's my opponent's turn that Ace worked. Alright. What is it doing? Okay, you know what? That's fine. I'm just gonna bounce back Dreadnought Dunker. This will work just fine. I can summon out my block backer, and then summon out the manager anyway. Good effort, but I have a man with a bat. A man with bat beats plants. That's a pretty violent thing about a guy just going out in the field beating plants with a bat. That would be terrifying. Why would you do that? Anyway, there's ourselves a good showing of what UAs like to do. Start with the little dudes, go into the big dudes, and just run people over. So let's go for one more duel with UAs and then get into the FAs. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go at it with UAs one more time today. Normally I go 3 or 4, but, you know, because I have to do the FAs. We'll just do 2 with this one. See what happens. Ha ha! Cyberdragons. People say I'm crazy for siding for Cyberdragons. For putting in the Chimera tech. Who's crazy now? It's all of you. You were crazy. You thought that tech was a bad idea. No, it was not. It was not. Granted, he needs to summon a Cyberdragon, but, you know, Cyberdarks, Cyberdragons, they kind of go together, if you hadn't noticed. All I need him to do is summon something that counts as a Cyberdragon, and I'll be good. Because then I can just blanket stop all of his stuff. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead, though. Because normally I like to show what my opponent does, but because we have the second deck, I'm going to skip ahead until this guy's done. And then we'll see what we have to deal with. Alrighty, so it's our turn and now. My opponent sadly did not make a Cyber Dragon. He made Rampage Dragon and didn't send anything to the grave or anything, so kind of weird. But it is what it is. Let's start with a pot of Extravagant. I already have a lot of good things. I have my stadium. That's pretty nice. I have another stadium. Would have liked the other stadium, but is what it is. Let's go ahead for Reasoning. Let's see what this guy picks. What does he got? He's got the Cyberdark Realm. Add a Cyberdark. Blah, blah, blah. Get it himself another main summon. I don't really care. We're good. So we got Pancratops. I can tribute the Pancratops to pop an opponent's card. Get rid of annoying things. Let's go ahead. See, I can just get Player Manager to get rid of this. I kind of want to get rid of one of these. But then again, this is probably the better... Yeah, I'm just going to get a Rampage Dragon. Not complicate things too much. So we'll deck thin a little bit. Reinforcement of the army. Get Libero Spiker. And real quick, I'm going to take a look at my... Okay, I didn't banish the Tisk. Good. Didn't want to do that. So we'll go for Stadium. Hello. Summon out Midfielder. And search our manager. Manager! He's the best manager ever. I wish I had a manager that was cool like this guy. Like, he's ready to go to town. He's got the bat and everything. He was like, okay, guys, the player can't play. I'm going to grab a bat and I'm going to go out there. And you know, he probably just failed utterly, but he tried, and that's all that matters. So we're going to go for a Dreadnought Donkey. I don't need all of my life points. We'll go for the manager. Nope, not yet. Hello, I'm a manager man. And I'll go ahead and pop one of his things. And since I can just beat over this, I'm going to get rid of the Realm, because I feel like that's more important to get rid of. Just a little bit more important to get rid of this thing. Alright. Let me think about this. So, if I bounce the Dunker, I can summon out Libero Spiker. And then, I can bounce Libero Spiker, bring out Dreadnought Dunker. Alrighty, that's how I like to go about it. Alright, let's go ahead, attack into the keel. He's literally the butt. The keel, the end of the ship, the booty. Cyberdark, okay, so he'll dump like an Atis to pop me, won't he? Something of that nature. At least I would imagine. Because, you know, Cyberdark Claw, Send Monster. I probably should have attacked it to Chimera. I got a little cocky there. Just a wee bit cocky. Not gonna lie, just a little bit of cock. And yes, I'm gonna keep saying cock. Mostly because the FA deck has a cock in it. You'll find out in a minute. So we'll go ahead and attack and beat. Well, we'll pop this. What does this do? Target Cyberdark in the grave, add to your hand. Okay. Okay, so he's not quite dead yet. He's getting there, but not yet. So we'll attack into the Chimera. And I can bounce the midfield. Oh, I can bounce one of my dudes to do another dude. Then again, that's actually not a bad idea. So I think I will do that after I've done the battle phase. So I can bounce my manager, get out Spiker, do a little bit more damage. Not quite game, but I can recycle my manager. Bet you wish you had a manager at your workplace that you could say that about. You could just say, like, I'm going to replace my manager if you don't mind. I'm just going to recycle this one. This one's old and busted. Alright, the Gamma Tech. Alright, that's fine. It's fine. It's a-okay. You know what? It's fine. We're good. I've got Dogmatic Punishment. Even if this guy does something, we're set. I've got Dogmatic Punishment. I've got Spiker for later. I'm good. I've got another Stadium. If I draw my other Stadium, that's perfect. I'm pretty darn set. Has to be said, I'm pretty darn set. So what did he get back earlier? He got about the Claw, and this is... discard at a Cyberdarks spell trap. Okay. I mean, that could mean a lot of different things, so he's not quite dead yet, folks. As you can see, my opponent has life points. Generally, this means that my opponent isn't dead yet. It means that they are alive. You only really need one of these life points. Can you imagine a duel where people only had one life point left? I imagine that's what Dynarufia's, like, ultimate endgame is, but I've never seen them do it. I've seen them get pretty ridiculously low, but never to one. I've seen them double digits, though, so that's something they can do. It's not very often it happens, but it happens, ladies and gentlemen. So, he's going to get himself a Cyberdark spell trap. He's going to get another of the Realm. Get another monster with a different name for the cards in the grave. Okay. That's fine. And he has nothing, because he has no Cyberdarks he can add with this. Did he not? Oh, yeah, he has... Wait, do you not have Edge? Oh, no, there's Edge right there. Okay. Unfortunate, my opponent was not able to do the thing he wanted to do. Such things happen from time to time. So, I'm just going to add one more I'm going to go ahead and summon out Slugger. I have no need to summon Slugger, but I want to summon Slugger because I want to imagine this is actually... Either Slugger is Manager, or Manager's taking over for Slugger. One or the other. Regardless, there's UAs for you. Let's go ahead and switch over to FAs and see what they can do. Alrighty, everybody at home, it's time for the FA portion of the video. For the FA deck today that we're playing 2 copies of FA Dark Dragster, 1 copy of FA Turbocharger, 2 Cockadoodle-Doos, 3 copies of FA Hang On Mock, 3 copies of FA Whip Crosser, 2 FA Sonic Meister, 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of FA Auto Navigator. We have 1 for 1, we have Terraforming, Monster Born, Called by the Grave, 3 copies of FA Test Run, 1 copy of FA Downforce, 1 Set Rotation, 3 FA City Grand Prix, 3 copies of UA Hyper Stadium, 3 Imperm, 2 Dogmatic Punishments, and 1 FA Dead Heat. For our extra deck, we're wanting 1 FA Shining Star GT, 1 Boguska, 1 Photon Strike Bouncer, 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, 1 FA Dawn Dragster, 1 Draco Berserker of the Tenny, Starlight Red Dragon Archfiend, FA Motorhome Transport, 1 Vermilion Dragon Mech, 1 Virtual Ward QB Shen, 1 Baron de Fleur, 1 Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Shenyan. We have Psychic and Punisher, and 2 Nitties. As for the side deck, if you want more cock in your deck, go ahead. If you want some other synchros, go at any level you can make, level 10, 9, 8, 7, whatever. It'll work in here. If you want more FA things like Pit Stop, which will allow you to draw more cards if you have more pit stops in the grave, so that's useful. Locker Room can, of course, shuffle the FAs in your hand to the deck to draw more cards. And also activate, you know, get yourself more levels, which is what FAs like to do. And if you want more FA field spells, things like Off-Road Grand Prix work pretty darn good. And also there's other Dead Heat if you really feel like you need it, but one is usually good for me. So, that's the FA deck. Let's go for the duels. Alrighty, first duel with FAs. We're going fast, everybody. We're speedy. Speedy Gonzalez. And we're going second, but that's fine, because I do happen to have many a thing. Okay. Change any defense monster to face of attack. Flip effects are not activated. Monster attacks destroy at the end of that turn's battle phase. Okay, that's not necessarily great for me. Luckily, I have an out to that. So we're going to play Set Rotatus. We're going to take 2 field spells. We're going to give ourselves Grand Prix, and we'll give him the Hyper Stadium for now. There you go. Both players get a field spell. As long as one of them is set, neither player can activate a new one. But we're going to activate our field spell, but not yet. First, we need to summon a monster. So what we're going to go ahead and do is summon out our Whip Crosser. All FAs gain attack equal to their levels. And when you play an FA spell trap, they gain levels. And our field spell immediately gives us 2 levels during the main and battle phase. So we're going to go ahead and make this guy immediately level 7. It'll be 2100. And once they get to level 7, our FAs gain additional effects. My opponent can no longer discard cards or send cards from hand to the grave to do stuff. So this guy's playing Nimble Momonga. Interesting. Oh, and I should mention Whip Crosser can also make my opponent pay 300 to do anything. If it's a monster with a lower level or rank than my guys do. So that's a nice little bit of a lock. There are some lockdowny sort of things that FAs like to do. Sonic Meister is Hang on Mock is the really good one for this. But Whiptail Crosser got some stuff. So we'll end our turn for now. We're in a pretty good position here. He's got Hyper Stadium, but if he plays it, I get a level. Spiritual Forest. Valerifaun. Okay. Well, he's got Valerifaun. He must pay the life points to do the thing. Alright. 2, 4, 6. Interesting. Going for what exactly? Could be many things. Yeah, he can't use Valerifaun because I have the Whiptail Crosser, so I kind of figured he's going to go for a Sunday. Made the perfect sense. So he's going to activate that effect. But unfortunately for him, I've got the likes of Imperm. So I can just say no to monster effects. I just don't want to have to deal with a big old token that's as big as me. I am the only one who should have a big monster right now. So you're going to attack into me. Why though? You're not destroyed. All you're doing is taking damage. Okay, that's what my opponent wanted to do. Ooh, terraforming, nice. That's nice, nice, nice. So what we're going to do, terraforming, get ourselves a field spell again. Unfortunately, my opponent surrenders. Alright, well that's unfortunate. Because I was really going to go off there. I mean, I have my Sonic Meister. He never gets to do anything, Sonic Meister. Because he's not as great as his brothers who lock down and stuff. But he can attack 2 monsters. That gets around his Spiritual Forest. So, there you go. I guess I beat Little Beasties. That's the name of this deck, Little Beasties. So let's go for one more with FAs. Really try to get more of the stuff. We barely scratched the surface of FAs. Might have to do 3 duels with them. We'll see how it goes. It's everybody's favorite hero, everybody. It's Brickman. It's kind of like Batman, but he's got bricks. And he just goes around, like, hitting people with bricks. That sounds awful. Why would you do that? Why would you just hit someone with a brick? That sounds like such a dick move. Alright, well, we do not have an FA in the hand at the moment. But I do have Auto Navigator. So nice mod. Basically what this does is if you have an FA on the field whose level is bigger than its original level, you can special summon Navigator, and then reduce that monster's level to its original, and this gains the difference. This lets you make your level 7s, it makes Dawn Dragster, stuff like that. So we're going to go for Hyper Stadium in this case, because I need more monsters. And we'll get Hang on Mock. We've seen the other 2. Hangout Mock is really the star of the show here. Once he becomes high enough level, he makes it so anything your opponent loses goes banished. He's basically Macrocosmos for our deck. So, it's not a great hand, but it's a start. I do have Test Run. I can switch my Auto Navigator to Defense Mode and pop a card. And then I can banish it later to target a monster, and then destroy it and summon an FA from the deck. That way, if I have an FA I don't really need, I can just go for a different one. No, not yet. I think, maybe. I might be right, I might be wrong. I don't remember. Oddly enough, we are playing a virtual world in this deck, so that's a bit of an interesting thing there, what we can do here. So, he's got Shuche. That's the one he needs. Banish stuff to do things with that, though. Italy. No. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I could be wrong to say no, but the fact that he went for that so quick makes me think he might not have anything he can... Well, he had that one. Okay, so he will have the Lao Lao. Okay. It is what it is. He's got Lao Lao. He'll have a Lao 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 Diggy-O Diggy-A, but the question is, what else will he have? So we'll send a spell card. Summon out the Lao Lao. He has no thing in the graveyard to summon. Okay, that's good. So now what he can do is add another monster, a non-tuner I would presume. Because he's trying to do mostly what we're trying to do. Or he'll get a 6. Go for the rank 6. Ah, I see. I see. Interesting. So he's going to target his monster to get the trap. I would presume. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. So far, we're okay. I mean, it may look like my opponent has got control. But I've actually got a decent thing going here. So he's going to send the trap. This lets him revive a dude from the grave with its effects negated. Okay. He'll send another one of these, but he can't use it this turn. So what he's probably going to do... Okay, that's not what I was thinking. Ultimaya, I see. Luckily I have outs to this. Actually, I have several outs to this. But he's got Ultimaya Zulkin. You gotta give the guy props for that. Let's see. So he's gonna bring this back. Negate its effects. Alrighty. I'm gonna go for test run here. I'm gonna switch this to defense mode. I'm gonna do that. And even if he does go for Chuche, put those back into the deck. What? You know, that doesn't... Let's see. That shouldn't stop me. Unless I'm mistaken in some way. I should not be negated by that. Yeah, that doesn't stop me, my dude. Good effort, though. Good effort. Alright, so he'll get Lao Lao. He'll send the Sword Soul guy. And my opponent immediately surrenders. Okay, we're gonna have to definitely do a third duel. We're getting all these people who are just like... They see what we can do. We're barely touching the surface here. I had so many things I could do next turn and stuff. But unfortunately, my opponents just won't do. So let's do one more duel with the FAs. We're just not getting opponents good. Hopefully the next opponent is a good opponent. Alrighty, third opponent with the FAs. Hopefully a good opponent. So far it's been rather mediocre. I don't know what it is. Okay. I was about to say we have nothing, but then I was like, we do have something. We have stuff. I mean, I've got a field spell. I've got another field spell. It's not the greatest hand in the universe, but it is something. You know, it's always good to have something. You know? I will say, originally when I was playing, or I was planning to do the FAs, I originally considered the Ties of the Brethren strategy, which is a viable one. I didn't do it today for reasons, because I did that last time I did FAs, I believe. Didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did. But that's not what we're doing today. we're doing other things. We're going to go for Hang On Mock, and we're going to play our Grand Prix. The reason we play Grand Prix, not only because we gain levels, like, most of the time, but so long as I have this, my opponent can't target me with things, so he can't imperm me. That's a very important thing. Okay. We'll go ahead and set Downforce. This is literally just play this card. This guy gains levels. Gains 2 levels, I can banish it. Gain 2 more levels. It's pretty nice. And yeah, now anything my opponent sends to the grave will be banished. I've got my lockdown sort of dude. If I can get his brothers out on the board, it'd be even better. Ecclesia the Virtuous. No. I don't like it. There'll be none of that. I don't want to be having to deal with no spell traps. Although, can he even play... No, Natis has to hit the graveyard. So he can't even use punishment. I don't know why I was expecting anything different here. Alright, well that's all banished. He gets out this thing. Battle phase, yeah. Alright, so what we're gonna go ahead and do, activate Downforce, make my monster bigger. He'll chain the Phoenix Destroyer, but I have Imperm number 2. What? What are you gonna do? You're gonna do nothing. You do nothing, Phoenix Destroyer, you're garbage. Go back to garbage pile. My monster's way bigger than yours. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, you can go ahead and activate your effect. There's nothing in the graveyard to be summoning. Alrighty, so my salt aside, I don't care for Phoenix Enforcer. I just recently played Heroes. Never went for him once. And I did fine. I did great, thank you very much. Okay, so I do have some cock. Cock's really good if I need to synchro summon. But I don't. So I'm going to keep that in my hand. I'm just going to attack Ecclesia. Because I can. And again, I'm pretty sure he can't play Dogmatika Punishment. Because everything's getting banished. He has to send it to the graveyard. So, we have ourselves a nice situation where my opponent really can't do much. I can't be targeted. Everything of his goes to the banished pile. It doesn't have a name. It's just a banished pile. Why does this thing not have a name? It's just the banished pile. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Again, that doesn't do anything to me because rank 4 doesn't work on this. Granted, you're bigger than I am, so that's a bit of an issue. Okay, so that might be the one issue that happens. My opponent has Exorcista. Oh, and he's taking my field spell. No, I needed that to live. Oh no. My cock! See, the minute I whip out my cock, things go bad. Okay. That was an awful joke. Okay, take that out of context how you will. I don't care. That was a good one. I whipped out my cock and everything went bad. Alright. But jokes aside, yeah, this thing just kind of messed me up. I kind of needed that imperm for this. But unfortunately, not gonna do. I probably should have banished Downforce when I had the chance. Because I could have at least kept the level and been on bigger than this thing. So that's gonna be a loss for the FAs. 2 easy duels. And then we were on the fast track to destroying this guy, but he just happened to be playing Dogmatika Sisters, which just happened to have removal of my field spell. So let's go ahead for the end screen. It's not perfect, but it is what we have today. Alrighty, so today the FA UA double feature. UAs went 2 and 2, which was pretty good for them. You know, they don't always go 2 for 2, but they did alright. They did exactly what I wanted them to do, so that was good. As for FAs did both better and worse than they could do. because our first two opponents were just kind of like, eh. But that third duel really showed what we can do against certain opponents. You know, Hang On Mock, just poison for anybody who cares about the graveyard. And heck, I outed Phoenix Enforcer. Granted, his Phoenix Enforcer kind of ended up outing me. So, it's a touch and go sort of thing. But you get the idea of both decks. You're summoning out the mocks. You're activating your spells to give them more levels. The bigger they go, the faster they go, the better they go. UAs, you go for the little dudes, go into the big dudes, go for lots of damage. So, while it's not perfect, I didn't even get to show off the synchros. That's the saddest thing about FAs. And I really wish I had more time to show off the synchros, but I'll tell you the truth, I can make all these synchros. I didn't put these in here for nothing. It ain't always what you're doing, but you can make all these synchros. It is a thing you can do. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's double feature. If you did, consider smacking the like button to let me know you enjoyed it. Consider subbing if you haven't to help the channel keep getting bigger. And tomorrow we're looking at Gaia Knight, a deck I've been looking forward to since this whole series began. So, hope to see you guys there. Your boy, the Memphis Accelerate, signing out. Peace.